Okay, in this video we will be using trigonometry to calculate the value of an unknown angle. Unlike example 2 for the trigonometry in which we did in the last video, we were looking for an unknown side. In example 3 we're now looking for an unknown angle. Okay, so that's the primary difference. I have 3 examples to go through. One will be a sine, a cos and a tan. So we've got 3 examples for each particular ratio. Let's kick it off. The first question, question A, we're given a triangle. It is a right angled triangle. First step, we need to label it with our hypotenuse occurring opposite the right angle, our opposite side occurring opposite the angle in question, leaving our adjacent side left next to the angle in question. Once we've written our sides in, we then note opposite and adjacent sides have been given to us, which is going to require us to use our tan rule. We write our tan rule, tan theta equals opposite over adjacent, or opposite divided by adjacent, and we then substitute for theta, O and A. Theta is the unknown in the question. Okay, so we simply leave that as theta. O is 6 and A is 8, thus this fraction here. What we are looking for is theta. So you'll note that we've got tan theta on the left-hand side and we just want theta on the left-hand side, so we've got to get rid of that tan. And in order to do that, you'll note this little second function tan bit written here, which is referring to this next line. Okay, so to get rid of tan from one side, we press second function tan, which will give us this thing called arctan. Okay, some people say it's the opposite of tan, but is what we refer to as arctan. So we're then left with theta by itself equal to arctan, which, as I stated, is second function tan button on your calculator, or shift tan depending on the type of calculator that you have. Insert a bracket, 6 divided by 8, close bracket, equals, on a calculator, 36.9 degrees, should your calculator be set correctly 2 degrees. Okay, if it's not giving you this result, chances are your calculator is set to radians and it needs to be changed. Let's move on to question B. Question B, very similar to question A. The only fundamental difference is we're going to be using a different trigonometric ratio. Okay, that's just to get familiar with seeing the processes for each different ratio. Label the triangle first. Right angle opposite the right angle is our hypotenuse. Our opposite side is opposite the angle theta in question, leaving our adjacent side. Okay, we then need to note that 17 and 23 refer to our O and H, being opposite and hypotenuse, which requires us to use our sine ratio. Substituting for theta, O and H, theta is theta, opposite is 17 and hypotenuse is 23. And solving for theta using the same process as we did with tan, we're now pressing second function sine or shift sine in order to move sine from one side to the other such that we are finding theta. Okay, so we've got sine -1, which is our arc sine function, insert a bracket, 17 divided by 23, close the bracket, equals 47.7 degrees, should your calculator, as I said, be set to degrees rather than radians. The final example, we've done a tan, we've done a sine, you can guess that the last one's going to be cos. Okay, so we've got a triangle, we label our sides, opposite the right angle is our hypotenuse, opposite the angle in question is our opposite, and leaving the last side our adjacent, meaning next to the angle in question, theta. We've got an A and a H, which, as we should know by now, is our cos ratio, and substituting in for theta, A and H, we will get this, where theta is theta, A is 25 and H is 32. Just like example A and B, this particular step here, where we've moved tan to the other side and sine to the other side by taking the second function of that particular tan or sine, we're going to do the same with this problem. Okay, we're going to move cos to the other side, and by doing that, we use our second function cos button on a calculator. To get this arc cos, we then insert a bracket, and 25 divided by 32, close the bracket, equals, and you should get 38.6 degrees.